Hey buddies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. Today I'll how to set up, play and review the game Tokaido Duo. Now, this is a purely two-player game, as you might have guessed from the title. And yes, as I mentioned in a prior video, it has been signed by the designer Antoine Bauza over at Essen 22. If you want to check out my video for Essen, my other two-player games, check out my playlist, also how to set up, play and review playlist games, along with many others. Now, I'm only going to set this up on one side just because of the size of the board and stuff like this. So you're each going to take 3 boards, one of each type. So you can take one of these and place it under where you are. You're going to place one of these as well and one of these. So ultimately we have a pilgrim, we have a merchant, and we have an artist, and we're looking to do the best. To do the best involves getting the most points, and the person with the most points wins the game. Now in this particular game, there are different things you can do. You can lead with any of these 3, and if you're going first, which is the person closest to the compass point, they get to take 2 turns, and then the other person on their turn, when a round finishes, they get to go next. So you're going to take your 3 dice. I think we'll just leave them out here for the time being. There's some other tokens which we'll get onto when we need to, such as these tokens over here, and we have some other tokens as well. So firstly, you're going to randomize these, place them face down and face up over these various locations, give you a place where merchants can come and go. Do you know what? I'll orientate it this way around just for the camera. If you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button and subscribe button, hit the notification bell. There have been daily videos for many years now. There's green and there's purple or lavender. I'm going to play as, of course, lavender, being my last name. So you're going to take out your pieces. You're also going to take your paintings. There are different types. So you have bamboo, we have mountains, we have waterfalls, and we have moons. So you're going to take your pieces out. There's certain places they're going to start. So right now you've got a merchant tile. They start on the merchant space where the abacus is. You have your pilgrim that starts over there, and your artist which starts here, and the other person is going to do the same other side of the board. Take your square pegs, or round pegs, sorry, these cylinders, and they're going to go in these locations. I'll show you how scoring works in a second, but let me finish laying these up. So all these are going to be turned face down, and then you're going to flick them over the other way. Now, if you do want to comment on anything, please make sure you do so in YouTube. It's where everyone else can see it as well, as other places may well be hosting this video. And that allows everyone else, of course, to communicate. If there's a shared question, everyone can get an answer quicker. So there we go. We're going to lay them outwards. And as you uncover these tiles, you can score points up to the value that you can cover it up to. As you get more than 10 coins, you can also get up to 45 points down here. And also you can go over here, and it's a multiplier between your bamboo times by your temple. So at most you can get 54 points. So there's 3 ways you can be scoring points. Obviously it's cumulative, so all those 3 combined will give you a final score and see who wins. If it happens to be a tie, then it's person with the most coins. You're going to take this tile over here and place it in this corner here. Now some of these terminologies, so let me just talk to you briefly about those. So what do we have in the game? Well, we have various tokens. We've talked about these painting tiles down here. These are called viewing pegs. We have a hot spring token over here, and what over here, these are called boutique tokens. So what they represent there is ultimately a scoring option when you wish to sell these certain wares. Bit of money off to one side here, as you can see, limited space. So there we go, do it like that. Lastly, there are 3 special tokens over here, and we're going to place these either side up, it's your choice, and these are kind of seashore tokens, places where you can go along the seashore, and it ultimately improves what you'll do when you take a certain action. Now, if someone else lands on a seashore and all 3 are taken, then you can take one off somebody else. So again, these are double-sided. Let me tell you what these do though. Inspired artist, when you take the gift action, you may now remove your painting tile if your artist began, passed through, or ended your turn on an area showing that icon. Well, I'll come back to that in a second, but let's talk about what you'll do. First player, of course, being me, close to the compass, you're going to roll the dice, and you're going to see what you want to pick. So right now, I'm over here. I can take this action, so you take that and place it on your board, and this allows me to move exactly 2 spaces for the pilgrim. That's 1, 2, which in this case, of course, will give me this token. What this token allows me to do is in any future turn, I can actually now double up and maybe take this on a future turn, of course, future round, is take this action twice. So I can do 2 merchant actions. So that's what I can do if I want to go there. That's 1, 2. Sorry, let me put that back. So that would go 1, 2. Another thing I could do instead though is I can move the merchant to. Now these all have different variations. Some of them is 2 1s, 2 2s and 2 2s. Sometimes it's 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s. Sometimes it's a 1, 2 2s, 2 3s and 2 4s. They all vary slightly. Now So I can instead take the merchant action. So what this allows me to do is move 2 spaces. So I can move 1, 2, you can have them exactly what it is every single time, and move exactly the amount the number shows. Moving 2 spaces, this allows me to draw 3 wear tiles. I'm limited to 5, unless you have a special tile that gives you the 6th one. So I'll draw 3 tiles, 1, 2, 3. So I've got 3 tiles here, 3 kimonos, and obviously fans, things like that. On a future turn, if I happen to roll exactly what's needed, I can now sell over here. So I go 1, 2, I can sell these 2 tokens for 4 times the amount, so I can get 8 points. Remember, if as soon as I get more than 10 points, I can place another token here, and that'll give me an additional, well, give me 5 victory points. So this is a way of getting victory points up here. This one is your total, so I'll show you how this works in a second. If on a turn I manage to land here, I move down 1 space, and if I happen to move onto the temple, I move across 1 space, so it's a multiplier. Up to 6, up to 9. As soon as this reaches the last thing, that is the final round of the game. You finish your round and then score up. Over here, if you get all of these 6 tokens over here, that also triggers the end game as well. So again, that final round for wherever you're up to. And lastly, on the right hand side, so these are known as gold slabs, which we saw a second ago. And lastly, if you remove all 10 of these, you get 40 victory points, or however many you're up to, which is discovered. So let's talk about that artist. Let's bring this back. If I want to take the artist action, firstly, I'll be moving exactly 2 spaces. You can't go 1, 2. So I'm just going to move my artist, I don't know, 1, 2 to this location, and I'll reveal 1 tile. It happens to be a mountain. Now, in future, on a future turn, if I happen to end my turn on a mountain tile, or be on a tile with a mountain tile, it means I will get this removed. So this goes back into my bag, and at the end of the game, I'll be scoring 2 points. So I want to keep on getting more of these off. So as the game goes, you'll see how many you remove. But right now, you're only removing 1, because 1 is next to one of these central merchant mountain tiles, or mountain towns, and all around the edges, we also have cities. So if you happen to end around there, then you'll also get however many there are. So remember, there is another player out here as well. So I'll just start setting them up for that, just so you'll see how it works. So of course, they are going to go, artist is going to go here, we're going to have their pilgrim here, and we're going to have their merchant there. So, as I said, you're going to uncover more if there are more people around it. So you're trying to be near other people, because it allows you to uncover more tokens. Your top leftmost uncovered token, again, is going to allow you to take that off if you happen to be in that zone. Now, let me use the terminology that is given in the book. So we have painting, so you can paint, which again is you're taking off these tiles. Equal doesn't include yourself that you're next to. Again, it can be here, and again, whoever is around the edge. Now, remember, these are called mountains and these are called stations. Mountains and stations. So you're going to remove some of these and then you're trying to end your location. One of these, it's called gifting a painting or gift a painting. If the icon of the arrival area matches the icon shown on the top leftmost tile, again, you can remove it. And again, you're going to score victory points at the end of the game. That's how that works. Now, again, you're taking 2 dice because you're going to take one of them, and then they're going to take a die, and then you'll take the final one. Then they're going to roll, and then they're going to go first and take one of them. You're going to take one, they're going to take one back. It's a very bitey 2-player game. It's not cathartic, which is how I described the original, very zen-like Tokaido, but it's still sold out at the 2022 Spiel Fair. I think Tokaido Deluxe also sold out, I don't think, which was 60 or 65, and I think for 135, I didn't see Monumental sold out by 3 p.m. On the Sunday at the time I last checked. So lots of things to do, constantly be aware of it. Scores are very close. It literally comes down to that final round, whichever you get to trigger, and it's whether or not you want to trigger that final round. Again, limited space here, a bit of a luck of the draw about what you draw out of the bag. As and when you complete an order, you're going to place these back in the bag as well. The bag is nice and big. I enjoy that. It's very good. Not enough baggies necessarily, but I have redistributed them. These slots are kind of interesting, but I don't know how necessary they are. But things do not move around in the box, which is fantastic. Like I said, it's a very thinky game. You're thinking, well, I want to take that, but I want to stop my opponent. I was racing up this track, and again, scores were very similar. Constantly being aware of, obviously, when you get over 10 coins, coins worth nothing, but you will get yourself, a gold token, a gold slab, which you can fill up these. So all these are kind of multipliers. Obviously, you get more points you go up here, more points you go up here, and of course, this is in itself a pure multiplier itself. Very colourful, as always. Very nice and intricate the way it's laid out. Constantly being aware of the fact, of course, you could get luck-based, like I said, with these. Obviously, this will vary the layout. You have 3 different options over here, which does swing things back and forth. I ended up taking a couple of these, and again, it was only a few points in the game. So my rating is kind of like a 7.4, which is actually what everyone else currently is giving it. Of course, this is very new when I'm doing my review. And in terms of, I believe, the general consensus over Tokaido, I kind of prefer the Zen-like nature of Tokaido. But for a two-player experience, again, the app is very good. I kind of like the gameplay more for this, even though, of course, it is a bit more cutthroat, or a lot more cutthroat, and it is something where the duration is actually very similar. I'm surprised. I thought it would be a lot quicker for a two-player game, but it is what it is. So you have to please be aware of, if you want it as a filler, it's a lot more likely to be about a 45-minute play. And in fact, I haven't seen anywhere on the rulebook or anywhere in the box stating actually how long it takes. So very interesting. Like I said, lots of options here. As a two-player game, yes, it is very strong in that respect, and there's plenty of other two-player games I would recommend, which are very similar to an experience. Games such as, I would say, Blitzkrieg, very similar, whereby it's constantly back and forth. Whatever you do, it's very combinatorial. You're stopping your opponent. Is it helping you, or is it going to be, a zero-sum game? Is there something that you can help instead? So it's very interesting. Lots of variety, and I can see what they've done, and it's quite clever how they obviously converted it from Tokaido. Of course, the Pilgrim is constantly moving around the edge. I got all the way around pretty much, which was fun just to do that. So it's cathartic in that respect again. And yes, hopefully you found this video interesting. Of course, please let me know. But for now, back to the table.